Hi, I am Logan, and this is my co host, Rebecca. We are excited to have our first guest on Where Your Stories podcast.
Hello.
Yes, today we are talking to Giovanna Sacca, and we're excited to hear their story, the real human version, and also have some fun along the way. So welcome, Jenna.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, yeah, we're super excited to have you. Very first guest. So everybody is this is our pilot with our first guest. Super excited. Maybe before we jump into everything, Jenna, you can tell us a little bit about you, what you do, where you are, some background.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am what's called an RPQ. So that means I'm a registered psychotherapist qualifying. I just finished my master's over the summer and it was an awesome experience. After that, I jumped right into starting to counsel individuals and I loved it. It's just so wonderful being able to talk with people. And I like the name of your podcast because instead of like I love that idea that we wear our stories, right? Like it's just like with us all the time. So that's kind of like what I do is we take off some of these stories and we get to share them and show them around. So that's kind of what I do. Let's
That's amazing. All right. So let's get into our first segment, Logan.
do it.
All right. So, to get our podcast started, we would like to make sure that everyone feels at ease. So, Jenna, let's go up. Let's warm up with an icebreaker. All right. What is your go to comfort food right now?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Um, I'm a snacker. I love snacks. So I have these like blueberries. They're like chocolate covered blueberries, the
Mhm.
Brookside ones.
Yeah.
So good. I'm on Netflix watching, snacking for sure.
Logan, what's yours?
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like anything with pasta in the word with it, I don't know, it just feels like comfort food.
Mm.
Yeah, you'd love Nando's house.
Jenna's Italian, so
Uh,
pasta's in her blood.
but
Lit-
Yeah.
do you not eat pasta if it's not al dente?
I will eat it. Like
Okay.
I will. Like only half of my side's Italian, the other half. My grandma's English and then my grandpa's Irish. So they're very like if the pasta is al dente, they won't eat it.
That's
So
hilarious.
yeah.
I think my comfort food right now, which is like it's really bad, is like candy.
Oh,
I have
yes.
so just a very quick story, but I had my car stolen, and one of the most like the biggest thing that I was most devastated about losing was my car candy because I had a really good stash.
Do you have it in the glove box or
Yeah,
like yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's just
I
if
do a
you're in
lot of
traffic, a quick
yeah,
little snack,
yeah,
delicious.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, what's our
Um,
other icebreaker, Logan?
what song would play every time when you enter a room?
Ooh, this is like I call it like the walk-in song, like when
Mm,
you're like play baseball and you walk up to the bat. It changes all the time for me. It changes all the time. I think right now, ooh, that's such a good one. Do you know that song that's like it's called September by Earth, Wind and Fire, but it goes like, "Do you remember?" And
yeah,
it's just such a fun, bouncy song that when you walk into the room, it's just like everyone just starts dancing.
that's amazing. Logan, do you have
Yeah.
one?
It would either be the Mission Impossible theme song or it'd be
I like it.
Honestly,
well,
I think that's the winner.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well let's get into the meat of the podcast here, Logan.
right. So this part of the podcast is the meat of the show where guests share their mental health journey. This podcast was started because I have my own story, and so does Rebecca. We want to normalize these discussions. In my episode, I talked about me having functional neurological disorder and a diagnosis of ASD and how the world perceives me. I want to thank you for agreeing to be on the show to share your experiences with neurodiversity and mental health. We would love to get into your story. Please only share whatever feels comfortable.
I love this. And yeah, I don't even know where to begin. I feel like my
Start
story
as a
starts.
child, Jenna. Start your journey. I mean, you've told me a lot about
Yeah.
your struggles in school and, and being told you'd probably never get to where you are today, right?
No, definitely no. I think little Jenna would be looking at me like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I think let's wind it right back. Let's start right in grade 3.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with dyslexia. So it's kind of like reading, writing, comprehension, learning disability where I really the best way I can describe dyslexia, and honestly probably describes a few things, but you know how you can picture a toonie? Like, you know what a toonie looks like.
Yeah.
Mm,
And it's in your head, you know exactly, you can see the polar bear, the colors, everything. Now draw a toonie. Does it look the same as it does in your head?
no.
I am not an artist.
This is gonna look really funny.
It's gonna look like a stick figure polar bear with like a bad circle around it. Like it's not gonna look like that. So that's kind of how I comprehend things. Like I can see it so perfectly in my brain, but when it comes out, it's like not exactly how I pictured it. So that's kind of my best example. But also the reading and writing, it's like words dance on a page for me. And it's like I have to catch the words to, like, make them make sense. I can read the words, but I'm not really understanding what's happening. So that's kind of where I learned about dyslexia and learned that I have it. My reading comprehension was at kindergarten level in grade 3. It was not looking good for me in the reading writing aspect of school. Then in grade 8, they told me I need to go, like, when you're deciding what you wanna do and, like, you take the university courses, the college courses, or the mixed courses, they recommended all college level for me, which is fine, but not where I wanted to be. I knew pretty young I wanted to do psychology. I loved learning about the brain and understanding how it functions for me, like, um and other people, right? So, um, that was very interesting for me, and going the college level was just not gonna get me where I needed to go. So, I kind of, said no to those teachers politely, and actually it wasn't very polite. My mom was not polite about it, but, I went to grade 10 and I started on the college level English, but I took university level everything else. Now, what do you need for example, to get into university for psychology? You only need 1 credit.
I'm
The
pretty sure
only
it's in English.
the
Yeah.
only mandatory credit is English. So, as if I'm like, "Okay, cool." I replanned everything. I had to go back, I had to take different courses and come back in and take, those English courses that I needed. Just because I'm so stubborn that I was like, I need to do this. So many teachers kind of were telling me it's not feasible for you. People like you don't go to university. I don't know, Logan, have you ever heard things like that?
All of the time, especially when I was younger with my autism, because I have really
Yeah,
bad fine motor control issues, and
right.
especially my mental health really limited me from actually going into a regular system, so a lot of teachers were telling me that it'd be best if I just didn't even go to college, if I just, like, got a job somewhere else.
Yeah. And it's just like, what? You're still learning, you're still like observing things, even if you were in the job. So what's the difference? Sometimes
Yep.
I'm like, it's the education that they believe so strongly in, and it's kind of a dated mentality. Do you find that? Yeah. Or it's
Yeah.
like,
Preach. That's for sure. We can have a long conversation. Logan is learning our outlook on the education system.
There's nothing wrong with taking the other route, but
no.
I feel like for most people, it is more beneficial to learn more stuff on the way, if that's an
Exactly.
apprenticeship or college.
No matter what, I love that. Like, no matter what you're doing, you're learning, you're understanding. But if you're feeling like your pathway set out for you and you know what that pathway looks like, what's stopping you from just trying it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because
go ahead, Logan.
yeah, because I feel like anything that you take, you're not stuck in it. You can always like university, I feel like it's just it's like a job, it's like an apprenticeship, you're learning still.
Um,
It's just different
exactly.
types. Yeah, exactly what you're
100%.
saying.
Yeah,
Well,
I
and I
love
think the
that.
current system, like you're saying, Jenna, it really puts limitations on if you don't get that right path in grade 9,
Yeah.
after you've been through. Like, I worked with a kid who, on top of probably learning disabilities and challenges, he had 3 languages, English not being his first, so never
Right.
really grasped a specific language, but really
That's so impressive.
wanted to be a pilot. But with a lot of students like that, they'd put him in all applied. And so by the time he was like 19 years old, they're like, oh, you have to go back and do everything all over again. Like, you've got
Yeah.
to do grade 9 math, grade 10 math, grade 9 English, grade 10 English. And I was like, there's got to be a different way to do that, and
And
there's,
it's
yeah,
like I totally agree. There's gotta be a different way to change your mind or like realize the pathway that somebody else told you and you ignored the one that you wanted.
yeah.
Like it doesn't seem fair.
And I think you were really lucky in that you had an advocate in your mother who
Oh my goodness,
understood
yeah.
the system and understood what you were going through for the most part, I'm sure.
Yes, yes.
And the fact that you had your own personality to be able to be stubborn and whatever. But most
Yeah,
families just trust the system,
exactly. If
right? And
when
so they
you
just
have an authority
say,
telling you.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more, but that's basically how I just remember thinking that university was like this really challenging thing where it's like if you're not the best, you're not going to cut it. And I went to this, I don't know if you've heard about it's called the Paul Menton Center for Students with Learning Disabilities at Carleton.
no,
And it's their like learning, like accommodation center, like their resource center.
yeah,
And they did this like presentation that I got invited to because I had an IEP or like an independent learning plan. And so I got invited to it and it was like they had all of these apps like read and write that like allowed me to just like speak into a microphone and talk about like my whatever, my essay, my topic. And for me, that was so much easier than having to like type it and like come out or like back in the day, the pen and paper.
no,
um,
I
but
would've
the
yeah,
I would've
anagrams,
cried.
and they're showing me all these tools. There's a pen that literally like records stuff for you. So again, now a lot of apps have it, like Notability have like recording purposes, but they were kind of showing me that, for example, Carleton was an inclusive place for people like me. They were giving me tools to like make me equal to everyone else because right now I'm here and I'm like fighting my way up just to be like the normal. But what I kind of realized too is that I have a place that I can belong and they're going to support me in being here. I was like, wait, so it's not this big scary place that is like so exclusive that you have to like, you can't get in. So I really enjoyed that. And I started talking with Carlton and getting my accommodations and everything in a row. But then I applied and I was like, okay, like what happens if I just apply, make sure I have all my credits, make sure I'm doing everything right. And I ended up getting into all of the schools that I applied to. I got scholarships, and I was like, well, not only are they accepting of people like me, they're giving me money to go. I said, wait. Yeah, I was really excited. Ended up utilizing those accommodations so much. I had a computer to do all my essays and exams. I had a quiet room to do my exams because I didn't want like I don't know if you've been into those crazy examination places, but that was not for me.
yeah.
So yeah, the I just think that just because people tell you no and that you can't do something, that's them carving out their own path for you. Your path is so like if you know what you want, go do it. Like don't let people tell you no. Like just make your own way and realize that there's going to be people that support you. And maybe the most shocking of all is what you didn't know or who you didn't know would be so supportive.
I have a question. So you talked about your mom being
Yeah.
supportive in your family. Was there anyone in your immediate circle that really didn't understand you and made you have to explain yourself or make you feel bad about who you were?
Yeah. I had a lot of friends in high school, and they had no idea what I was going through because, like, I just was a very sociable person in high school. Like, I knew everyone from I would talk to anyone. No, I would talk to a locker if it would talk to me. uh, but I just remember there was one specific time. This is just an example because I would hear it all the time. But my friends were trying to explain something in a science class to me. I ended up dropping this class. Could not. But they were trying to explain something in a science class, and they just kept using the same words over and over and over again, but like talking louder and louder and louder. And I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. You're going to have to say it in another way. And they're
Mhm.
like, you're useless. The words that I would hear from them being like, "You can't do this," or like, it's so frustrating for them to have talked to me. Another good example is when I'm sitting in the class. Oh, this is the worst. When you're reading a book in your English class and then it goes like around. Immediately when it's like popcorn reading or whatever, that word, I'm out. I will leave the class. I will go to
Mhm.
resource and I will read the book on my own. But do not make me read in front of my peers.
Yeah.
Um,
If I swear to God, I would like go in like the corner of the room if they would try and make me do it and I'd cry. I'm like, no,
I
I, I will stumble
100%.
too many times.
Do you relate to any of this, Logan?
Especially the part about like your friends telling you that you're useless. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's not that like saying it louder makes no sense. You gotta explain it in a way that would like be comprehensive, not just be like, all right, so this is like
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good word, comprehensive.
And what do you both wish those friends or those people could do or like take a step back? Like what do you wish they would be able to do to be able to understand you or people listening to this?
Logan, do you wanna go first?
I feel like just I feel like just listen to what I need, like ask me, not just
Mm,
assume. That's the main
okay,
one.
yeah.
Like because like if you want to help somebody, you gotta learn them. You gotta actually communicate with them. You gotta be like, all right, so obviously this is not working for you. What are other ways that like I can explain it to you? Maybe can I show it to you instead of just like telling you?
Right? Like, asking questions is huge. Like, trying to get on the same level. Like I said, it's like we're here, and being here is okay. You can do all these crazy things down here. You can come up and go over here and there down there. Like, there's so many things and qualities that like people like us are so good at, but it's just not the normal clear cut way of doing it. So kind of getting on a level where it's like, I need you to ask me, like, how can I better explain this to you? Or what part of this are you not understanding so we can look at that part? Instead of just getting frustrated, I just think like when you're different or when you like work differently, people are easily angered about that.
Yeah. I feel like the system is sorry.
No, go ahead.
I feel like the system is more like tailored to like somebody who doesn't ask for help. Like somebody just like but that's not like I feel like advocation is the only way for people to actually
Yeah,
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
absolutely. I would say in the work that we do, whether it's around mental health or race or socioeconomics, I find that it's really just having empathy and understanding, not necessarily putting yourself in their shoes, but understand that my experience and what I understand in my brain is not going to be the same as what Logan's experience is and what Jenna's experience is, you know? And same thing when I
Yeah.
look at somebody who has been a refugee or, you know, you can't just assume, like you said, Logan, that everything is the same. And I feel like that empathy piece. And I think that's what this podcast is really about. Like you just said, Logan, is having people hear the stories of everybody.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Jenna.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like teachers compare you to other students, being like, everybody else understands it, why can't you? Like, I'm trying, I'm doing the best that I can.
I love that. I'm doing the best that I can. Like I'm really
They're,
like
they're like, no, you're not.
yeah, like it's just they don't believe you. Yes, I have had teachers compare me. Surprisingly, I grew up in the I was the tester year for having iPads in classes. So my teachers would comment on like, well, just ask Siri or like Siri knows it. Like you're comparing me to a like piece of technology?
Yeah.
Like, I understand utilizing your tools and the things that you have, but you are a teacher and you're the person who's telling me I shouldn't be here and you're out here telling me to ask Siri.
Mhm.
Wild. Like, um, but when you are compared to people, what is that like? What does that give for you? Like,
It it just makes you feel like you're stupid. That's what I feel like. It doesn't actually help you. It's just like, oh, so if everybody else gets it, then like obviously it's my fault.
hmm, it makes you feel like you're at fault.
Which
Like it makes you feel like it's your fault. Like it's your at fault. Yeah, that's unsettling. How are you supposed to learn in that? Now go and learn.
it's so stupid. I feel like they're like what you were saying about them. I'm thinking in my head like it's your job to teach us. It's not your job to just show us something and then learn the materials ourselves.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
and again, like having that advocate in my life, like my mom just like kind of being like, no, or do better. Like, it was very helpful because I didn't understand that. I was like, very like, well, I must be like worse than everyone else. I must be different. Like, this sucks. But my mom telling me, like, no, your brain just works differently.
Mhm.
So having that reinforcement was really like I liked your question, Rebecca, about like people who are close to you that didn't understand. But there's also people who are close to you that do understand
Yeah.
and can like that those supports were worth more to me than the people who told me that I wasn't enough or the people who got frustrated with me or the people who would laugh at me. Like that the support was worth tenfold what one person would say.
Right. Well, let's move on to segment 3 of the podcast. Logan, are you ready for that?
Yep.
All right.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I love your vulnerability, especially because it's so important that we guys share our stories. But before we wrap up deeper, before we wrap up, I can't say it
That's
proper. I'm gonna ask Rebecca, what's a win that you've had this week?
it.
A win. Well, Logan and I were actually talking about this beforehand, so I got a head start on you, Jenna. So Logan has joined Rise full time. He's a grade 9 student. It's very, very exciting. And I think with a lot of families who are realizing that the system doesn't work for them, there's a grieving process of I'm a failure. Just kind of going back to like what you guys were saying is like, it's me, I'm the failure. When in reality, the failure is the system. The failure is our inability. And I mean, there's so many reasons the system's failing and it's not the people in it. It's the system itself. It's, you know, the ministry, the finances, the whatever. But something that was really exciting is Logan and his mom have been kind of going through this grieving process. Like, you know, I can't believe I can't be in school, or I can't believe my son can't be in school. He's not
Mm.
neurotypical and, you know, that's not normal or whatever. But I think we had a breakthrough this past week where they're realizing, you know what, this is right for Logan. And, you know, like doing this podcast is is so amazing. I'm sitting here going, I can't believe what Logan is learning as we're talking with Jenna, and the fact that he's like grade 9, he's in he's doing a podcast, you know. But
It's
people
so
look at
cool.
that, and go, that's not school. No, he's not sitting at a desk writing down notes and whatever else. How is this preparing him for university or college or whatever? You know, what would you say to that, Logan? Now,
Mind your own business. That's my that's the first thing that comes to my head.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes. Mind your own business. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. But, yeah,
I
that's a
love
big
that.
win. That's a big win for a lot of our students
Huge.
at Rise is realizing that it's not them and that every single one of us has brilliance
Yeah.
and we're gonna find it and do it.
And, like, having been to university, I also currently work at university. I bet you can guess which one. But I, um that's what we're doing in classes. You're creating podcasts, you're interviewing people who do these jobs. So, if anything, you're 10 steps ahead of everyone else because you're not just sitting in maybe 3 hours of your class is sitting in lecture. The other parts of it is like, how are you going out in the world and making that like small difference or like studying things and realizing this is real life and bringing that back to class.
Mhm.
So this is more than just school. You're more prepared than anyone else would be.
Yeah. And big shout out to Carleton. And I have heard this about post-secondary in that they are doing a really great job at accommodating. I had a student who was severely dyslexic as well, and she had done projects in the school system. She actually spoke to like principals about what it was
Wow.
like to be dyslexic in the system. And I remember her going to college and contacting me and saying, I have never had this many accommodations life, and this is amazing. So, yeah, so
Yeah, they give
that's
it out like Oprah.
I think schools, like high schools need to hear that. High school teachers,
Yeah,
high school principals need to realize that IEP, that psych ed that you've got done, like that goes into university and they recognize it even more
even
than
more. Yeah, I would say
in high
even
school.
more.
Yeah. How about you, Jenna? What's a win that you've had this week?
Ooh, good question. I'm like, what did I even do this week?
You were sick.
Yeah, I was sick. I got out of bed, huge one. But let me think. This is a good one. This is a good question. I so far this podcast, to be honest, this has been really
Aw.
awesome. Like I just like the way that you kind of like share the story and it's about the person and it's like a human being. It's not a number going through a system, right? Like we're humans and Logan, I just like everything you've been saying, I've just related to you so much and I can see like a little me being like, ah. Um, so hearing your story too and hearing that like, the system is still like this kind of is a good wake up call for me. Um, and understanding like maybe I can have a greater impact on what these high schools are doing.
Mhm. Yeah. Logan, how about you? A win?
Um, I would say so for a while now I was trying to get out and try and get some employment. I haven't heard back for a while, so I would say my biggest thing this week is trying to be patient.
Ooh,
That's a good one. That's a great one, Logan, because you really want things done now.
Yeah.
Good for you. I love it.
patience. I
Awesome.
love
All
that.
right. The laugh, Logan, the laugh.
All
You
right.
ready?
So the last question, and we always make it a fun one. So tell us a moment that felt awful, but now thinking back at it, it's kind of hilarious.
I have so many moments like this. Okay. So, um, at Carleton, we have these like stairs, and they're just like known as like I'm trying to, have you guys seen Lord of the Rings?
I have no.
Okay, so there's this part of Lord of the Rings, they're climbing up this like big mountain, and it's just like they're in so much after a long journey. The last thing they want to do is climb up this big mountain, and that's like what it feels like climbing up these stairs.
Okay.
There are so many of them, and only recently have they put in railings. And when I was there were no railings. So I would constantly be like falling. This is like a big joke in my family too. I have weak ankles. So I fall all the time, and it's almost like I just roll an ankle and I just face plant. I fell, not down the stairs, up the stairs. I was going up, and I'm like the last chunk of them, and I tumbled all the way down the stairs, and I had a coffee in my hand. The coffee goes everywhere.
No.
And, this is in 2nd year, and someone looks at me and goes, "Oh my goodness, are you okay?" Like, makes a big scene out of it, and I'm like, "Oh." First of all, my ego is just in so much pain.
The
Yeah, we're
coffee
still
must be the worst
besties.
part.
Oh, I know, the coffee,
Yeah.
I paid, like, $8 for that.
Yeah.
But looking back, it's something that I could laugh on because I made really good friends with that person,
No
and
way.
we're still really close to this day. And that's like we laugh about it a lot. My ego was hurt, my ego was damaged, but I'm super lucky to have just made a friend randomly falling up the stairs.
Amazing.
How about you guys? I want some good
Ooh,
laughing stories.
Alright, well, I feel like I have one.
let's hear it.
So, I was very attached to my personal belongings when I was in grade 8 for some reason, like, I was like, the teachers because especially my backpack. So, around the end of the year, the teacher was like, "Can you please put your backpack in your locker?" I'm like, "No, it made me feel comfortable." And then they were like and then there was this, and then another student was, like, talking to me, and I'm like, "No!" I ran out of the class, and then a student was following me, and then I was like I was just telling him, like, "Go away," and then, like, he was trying to comfort me, and then I went to the resource room, and then he was yelling at me to be quiet, which did help me in the moment. I was like, "Okay."
Is this
And then
all
we
over
were
the backpack?
Yep, all over a backpack.
Oh, jeez.
I told the teacher I wanted my backpack on me.
Yeah.
Anyways, but, anyway, so we were talking after that, after he was yelling at me, and then what he did to help me was he pulled up, cats falling down the stairs.
That's awesome.
It's me
So,
dressed up as a cat
yep.
Mhm.
falling up the stairs.
No, falling down the stairs. I don't know how you fall up the stairs.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'd like to see
Anyways, but yeah, he was really helpful for me, and we're really close now as well, so
I love that.
that. Well, thank you so much, Jenna, for sharing your story and your humor with us. We very much appreciate you being here and being Logan's very first guest, or I guess both of our first guests.
Yay! I'm
Awesome.
so happy. Thank you so much for having me. I love kind of having these conversations, and Logan, I feel like you're so relatable for so many people. So hearing that and hearing from you, I'm sure is like impacting many, many people. So good on ya.
Awesome.